Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly dungeon master this evening. Tonight, we're carrying on with our ongoing campaign playing Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition. This is playing the Night Below campaign written by Carl Sargent. And with me tonight are the stars of the Night Below campaign. I'll go the order I got you guys on the screen here. Tell us who you are, who you're playing. First up is John.
Hey everyone, I'm John. I am playing Dorman, the militant wizard smuggler. He's also a gnome.
Nice. And next up is Will.
Hi, my name is Will. I'm playing Chael, who is a elven Fey Warden priest of Coralon.
Nice. And next up is Hobbs. Who's muted?
His name is Hobbs.
I did that so I wouldn't talk while you were talking. Of course. I am Jason Hobbs, and I am playing a savage elf wizard earth elementalist known as Elanion Elandin.
Nice. And last but not least is Dave.
Hey everybody, I'm Dave Forche at DJF Poet or DJ David J Forche on Instagram, and I am playing Druin Axebrother, which is kind of like his low-level priest category. He is an Alagar, priest of Clangadin Silverbeard.
Nice. You're multi-class as well, too, right?
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm a fighter cleric. But,
Yeah.
you know.
Awesome. So what, let's see here. Let's take a look at the, well, two things I get to share. One is, tonight I will be starting to add a color to this, but check it out, guys. We got, boom. I have the inks done on the map that I'm creating for our campaign here. So, in place of the one we have, I'm expanding it out a little further to add some more detail, and yeah. So, in about, I'm not sure if by Friday, but certainly by next Wednesday, we will have that to replace this thing.
Nice.
So, where we last left our heroes was you guys traveling back from the from Thurmaster, right? What happened last session, guys? Just to bring everyone up to speed as to who was or whoever missed the last couple of sessions.
See, we signed on with a merchant over in Melbourne to head over to Thurmaster.
Yep.
We're looking for we're delivering a letter for one of the clergies in Melbourne, and looking for a priest that might have gone missing.
Right.
And then the merchant had some business in Thurmaster, so we signed on as guards for the trip there and back.
Nice.
And then there was some deaths along the way back. Dorman lost his dog to a giant eel, and we got into a scuffle with giant toads.
Yes.
On the way to Thurmaster, we met up with some other merchants,
Oh, yeah.
and we were able to make a pretty hefty chunk of coin off of a golden brooch that we had found.
Yeah.
And in Thurmaster, we were able to get the metal shield that Druin was carrying identified as a magical shield, which is now being wielded by his dwarven brethren, who's not here tonight.
Nice. Now, what that means also is the way we've decided to do the gold, guys, is we're just dividing the gold amongst as if there's all party members that have access to it. So I think, John, you were tracking what the total that everyone got was, right?
Yes. For everybody else that wasn't here, you get 129 gold.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And Calidor, we haven't seen yet, but he has a little bit more.
Yeah. And you can count that gold as treasure, guys. So that'll be XP. You'll gain 129 XP. And if you get the 10% bonus, you can go ahead and add that on. And neither of you guys have Thief as a class, so I don't need to worry about the extra class bonuses. So for those listening at home too, maybe I haven't commented on this thus far, but what we're doing for this particular campaign is we're not really concerning ourselves too much about continuity of characters. We're just, if what our goal was to, present a cohesive narrative to explain every time a player was absent, that would become far too much of the focus of the game. And rather than that, this is not TV show. It's not a movie. It's not a novel. We're just going with whoever's at the table, and we're assuming that everyone else may be just not on screen. So it's just an easier way to be able to allow this kind of campaign to run, with a story emerging, but not worrying too much about if someone can't make it one session. So. All right, so then, guys, I think the last thing that happened was the attack from the toads, and that was around midnight.
Yeah.
Yes, so let's, I think what we'll say is that Chael and Elanion, you were just sleeping very soundly throughout the toad attack, or the frog attack. And let me get you guys back over here, and we are over here. Boom. Oh, come on. Boom. There we go.
Map is getting, there we go.
I'll zoom in here. Okay, so what do you guys wish to do then? You've slain the I think was it two toads?
Ran away.
Yeah, one was slain, one ran away. What are you guys doing? So you've Chael and Elanion, you wake up to see this. It's a toad that's about the size of a grown man, and there's a lot of blood around. I don't think anyone actually took any damage, did they?
No.
Nope. I
Nope.
don't think so.
Okay. That's right, I was rolling crap last time. So then, what...
That was small consolation to, eating his dog.
Oh, be grateful. Those eels, holy smokes, they do a lot of damage. It's like
Yeah,
swimming ogres. Then I guess, Elanion and Chael, is there anything you guys wish to do before you guys head back to sleep and then kind of make your or wait it out until the next day? Where we are right now is just beyond the redwoods. So you can see the map of Heronshire. Boom. You are just east of just west of the redwoods right now. The guys had actually been avoiding that because they had heard rumors of giant toads or giant frogs jumping into the water and kind of not actively hunting, but they heard about them and they knew that they're sort of omnivorous and will eat anything that they can get access to. So, unless you guys have anything you specifically want to do, then you'll all hit the sack again too. Your merchant buddy who's hired you, whose name is
Lacey or no? In the notes.
Ugly, saggy face.
Is it Viari? Vasily.
Vasily?
Right.
Vasily, yeah.
Yeah, I think Vasily is probably the correct way to pronounce it. So, yeah, Vasily the merchant is happy to take your lead again. And then we will let you know that the rest of the evening actually passes uneventfully. Now, let's see what happens with weather. Where did I put it?
Oh no, he's going for another book.
I had lots of books going last
It'd
time.
be like random hurricane, snowstorm, who knows?
Like the climate has completely gone to hell.
Uh-huh.
All right. So let's see here, because you guys, it did not start off well, because I think that you guys set out in a thunderstorm, which then sort of turned into oppressive humidity, and then turned into sporadic rain showers. So it was not it has not been the most pleasant trip along the Churnet River thus far. Okay, let's see what happens here. Ooh. Headset is uncooperative. Okay, so the morning after, the rain actually stops. So, here we are. Where is it? That can go down. And the, what do you call it? The morning comes and there is that same mist that hangs in the air with all the, with every morning that you find along here, although it is a lot cooler today. The weather seems to have dipped down a good, probably, I don't know about Fahrenheit, but I only know from Celsius. It's probably dipped a good 10 degrees Celsius, so it's gone from, a very balmy kind of like 24 degrees down to about 14. So it's a cool start to your morning, but it's a little bit after the last couple of days of baking in the sun and sweating through the humidity. It's actually a bit of a nice change. So let's see here. That was Frog Night. All right. So now is the 9th of flock time, and you guys set out about Storming. Yeah, perfect. Let's see here. Then at about so the day's travel is really, unless there is something you guys specifically want to do, it is largely just a pleasant, relaxing drive. You're going, with the current now, so it's not quite as hard. You're able to throw the sail up for a little bit and get a little bit of distance. And if you choose, you may even be able to stop off at Kuiper's farm as well, too, to spend the evening with, or at least, I guess you wouldn't spend the evening because you wouldn't want to leave the ship unattended.
Well, Dorman's going to start out the day making his patented gnome fried frog legs.
Okay.
Everybody has a good meal to start.
Yeah, okay. So you wake up to the sound, and even though the morning was cool, you definitely have the aromatic flavor or aromatic scent.
It's burnt.
Oh, they're burnt. There you go. Okay, so burnt frog's legs. Oh, yeah, you rolled 19. That's it's not good. Apparently, it's a new recipe. He was trying something new. It didn't quite execute, so...
Seasoned with my tears.
Yeah, gruel it is then, I guess. So then you guys set up camp on the river that evening, and it is around, let me see here, it'll be around midnight. Let me see who's on watch. Only randomly here. One of those trays. Hobbs!
Yay!
Hobbs is, and Elanion is on watch on the river. So let's move you a little further down here. Where are you guys? Right. Nope. Right there. Okay. I'm going to move your camp down a bit. Boom. You're camping down there now. And let's see here. Evens, odds, 1 to 3 is... Oh, no, coming behind you. So what you see, guys, or you see Hobbs, is... why don't you first give me a surprise check? Give me a D10, please.
Oh my goodness.
So not surprised. What do we see Elanion doing while he's on watch? The fire's crackling in front of him, fairly low. Everyone is dead asleep next to them. What would Elanion be doing as he's keeping watch?
Most of the time, he would be striding around here and there, carrying his composite longbow, as that's a very handy tool that he is very fond of. Occasionally, though, he may find himself sitting on a rock, pondering his latest adventures here in Heronshire.
Has he got proficiency in stealth of some kind? I can't remember.
Is there a non-weapon proficiency in stealth of some
No
kind?
idea.
I don't think so.
He's got survival, woodland.
Okay.
That's a rogue thing.
Yeah, so exclusively.
Hunting.
Okay. So you're doing your very best to, to as you're pacing around to not keep your or wake your colleagues up. When you hear first the sound of, because the weather has or the wind at least that's been blowing for the last couple of days has finally actually died down. You can hear the splashing of oars up from upriver, and even though your clear perspective or clear view is obstructed a little bit, you can actually see that there are lights that are making their way down the river. It's about maybe 100 yards downriver at this point.
So is the fire banked at this point, or what would the situation be? I guess I don't know what our SOP is.
What do you mean by banked?
Like low and just barely embers at this point. It's not like a roaring.
No, yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. It's not. You're not tossing new logs on there.
But it's obvious that our boat is just sitting there, right? We don't have it hidden.
Yes.
Or anything.
As a refresher, let's see. This is what your the barge looks like.
Oh yeah. So it's a lot bigger than the one that's just sitting there.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's actually to scale. It's just that your characters are 5 feet in there.
True.
So, yeah.
True. Okay. Well, I wouldn't assume that bandits or anything. Is it like common for everyone to come off the river at night, or?
Yeah, because it's generally not it's not safe to navigate the river. Has twisting and winding, and there's you don't want to hit a stone by the river or something like that and bottom out. You don't want to accidentally run full bore into a sandy bank and find yourself stuck there.
But there have been goblin attacks and stuff on the farms on the north side of the river, so
I wouldn't assume they'd be using lights, but I'm going to quietly arouse my companions, though, because no good ever comes of fishing at night.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what these guys are looking for or using as bait, so
Okay.
best awaken
So I
my
think easily
preference.
all of you guys are awake by the time that this thing kind of crests the corner of the river. Or the bend in the river, and you can see it clearly past the that big copse of trees there. And what you can see is that it's a river barge very similar to what you guys are operating as well. And there's one guy who's standing. You can't quite make him out just because of the light that's available. He has the pole with a lantern on the edge that's hanging kind of off the end of the boat to kind of keep an eye out. And you can hear the sound of someone else instructing other kind of grunting men who are operating oars to sort of move this thing along. That's it. Careful. We're going to be making a turn here. And this is all in common. And the accent seems like someone from the yeomanry or at least the region. So it drifts along a little closer.
You woke us up for this?
Like I said, who knows what these people could want. I'm going to hide behind this rock with my bow.
Okay.
So he'll
So,
have his bow out, but not strung.
okay.
is that behind the boat? That's behind the boat.
Okay.
It's not a bad call to wake us up. You never know. Could have been goblins.
Okay. Vasily is asking, what's going on? What is it?
It's another boat coming.
Some fools traveling at night.
At night.
Yeah,
Oh.
look.
So he looks up. Oh. Will they see us? Surely they'll see us.
Oh, they'll probably see us.
There's a fire right here, so probably.
Vasily looks over and kind of runs over towards and starts kicking dirt onto the fire.
Sure.
Chael, what are you
Don't
doing?
see the boat. Don't sink the boat just to hide it.
I think I'm just trying to see what exactly we're looking at here.
So I think Elanion and Chael, now that they've... I can't remember. Dorman, do you have dark vision as well?
I do have infravision.
You have infravision, okay. So what the three of you can see... oh yeah, Druin, you're a dwarf as well, too. God damn. This feels like a Starfinder party. Okay, everyone's got dark vision. What you guys can all see is that there are two men who seem to be the kind of bosses, because they seem to be the ones who are either communicating the navigating from the front, where the guy's hanging the lantern from the pole from the on the end of a hook, and there is another guy who's giving instructions to four men who are operating the oars, and there are two other men who are kind of standing watch with bows, not like with the an arrow strung or whatnot. They're just standing there, kind of keeping an eye out. They all appear to be human, and from let's see here. What are your respective wisdoms, guys?
I got a 12.
Not great for Chael.
No, he's got a 19.
Oh, he's a 19. Chael. Yeah,
Damn.
they don't seem to be aware of you whatsoever.
Okay.
Bruin's got a 14.
14, okay.
Can I see kind of what's on the boat itself?
It looks honestly very much. It's stacked slightly differently. There's probably a different color tarp, and things are a little like the shapes underneath the tarp are a little different. It's otherwise effectively interchangeable with the boat that you guys are traveling in.
Okay.
And I get the feeling these might be smugglers.
Yeah, that was my first instinct.
Because I'm kind of in that business sometimes.
So smugglers, the way that smugglers turn a profit is by transporting illicit goods. Right. There's not really a terribly strong presence of law and order here, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking it's a night. They're traveling. Nobody travels at night. So.
I think he's telling you that isn't correct.
Yeah, I'm saying it's unlikely.
Vasily knows what's happening. It seems like he's like me. He thinks it's bad news that they're on the river for some reason or another. Right? That's the impression I got, anyhow, from how he acted.
He's taking his lead. He's taking his lead from you guys, and Druin happened to mention someone happened to mention the fire. That's why he went and kicked it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So far, he's been attacked by eels and by giant frogs, and you guys have managed to keep him alive. So he's listening to everything you guys say. So, if no one does anything, this thing drifts to within about 30 yards of you guys. It does not stop unless you guys say anything, and drifts on down the river.
Yeah, I don't see any reason to.
I try to just get a good look at the guys' faces to see so that I can recognize them later.
Sure. Why don't you give us a wisdom check, please? Let's see if you can, how well you're able to commit those faces to memory.
4 out of 12.
Pretty good. Yep. Okay. So if you saw them again, you would definitely be able to pick out. I'm not sure about the. I'm assuming you were focusing on the two ones who seem to be in charge. The guy at the front of the boat and the guy who's instructing the rowers. Yeah, and this carries on. Apart from that, and this is about midnight at this point, a little past when this happens. So these guys are traveling right in the dead of night. You're absolutely right, Dorman, that if this was anywhere else, this is the smuggling hour. It's just that this is not really a market for that. Like, there's no one keeping watch unless they're transporting something really horrific, like, say, bodies or people who have been kidnapped. Then, it's unlikely that they would...
All the missing people that we were trying to find.
I was thinking of that.
In the film version, you see Janelle or Jarella inside a barrel saying, "Help me!" And end of campaign. So how did you guys enjoy playing Night Below?
Well, I survived.
There you go.
Okay, so otherwise, guys, apart from that little bit of excitement, nothing else comes from that that evening. So the next morning, the weather warms up a bit.
So I have some questions, I guess.
Of course.
I don't want to ask too many because I obviously haven't been playing for a session or two.
It's okay. What's up?
But they were coming from Thurmaster, and it's midnight. How much... They're only wanting to travel at night. How much farther down the river could they get before daybreak?
So, rules as written, the way that if you do a forced march, you could effectively double your movement rate. They would have to, like, normally if you're traveling overland, you got to make an endurance or a constitution check, and then if you fail that, you start taking penalties to all your attack rolls, your proficiency checks, your AC, a bunch of stuff. On the river, there's an added threat that if you're navigating by evening, unless you've made specific plans for it, it's really dangerous because you really can't see terribly far in front of you. Why they would be in such a rush, who knows?
No, more of, I'm just curious, like, how far could they get, or are they only traveling at night? Like, how far, if they came from Thurmaster, would they be getting here about now, or if we were trying to figure that out?
It is 5 days travel for you guys to go from Thurmaster to Melbourne and then 5 days back. If they're able to cut that into 2.5 days, or even 2 days, if they're really,
they never have to stop if they don't want to.
No, and it's really the only reason you don't travel at night is because of exhaustion and because of the danger of navigating this river in the without being able to see where you're going.
But if they were only traveling at night to try and avoid contact with other merchants and detection, then we would just have to watch for the shores when we're going along during the daytime.
Absolutely. You could also, you do know from previous conversations with Kuiper. Kuiper does keep an eye on the river as well. So either through him or through his allies. Remember that Tauster seemed to think that Kuiper, if Jarella had traveled along the river, that Kuiper would have seen her for sure.
Jarella is the apprentice of...
Yes, of Tauster's apprentice who went missing.
We still haven't found her yet. Okay, I was kind of wondering about that.
You also found that there are the guys have found as well is that a couple other people have gone missing. It seems as well. There's a priest of Farlon who is the god of kind of like wandering and travelers and whatnot. And what was the other one, guys?
Priest of Farlon and a wizard who was going from Third Master to Melbourne.
Yes, that's right.
And I spelled Farlon totally wrong because I didn't spell it in Gygaxian.
I prefer Hygaxian.
Well played, Hobbs.
I like that.
Oh, geez. So then I mean, unless you guys have, you maybe talk it over a bit in the morning to figure out what those things, who would have been traveling at night. What you can tell is that with a roll that good for your perception there, Dorman, you guys got a good enough look at it, and there doesn't seem to be, unless there's something in the crates that weapons might be something that would be controlled. Although everyone in the yeomanry is part of the militia, like it's a universal conscription kind of country, so. Yeah, that's.
You have to be from outside the yeomanry to be smuggling weapons.
Could be. Well, you guys did hear. Remember the rumors you heard about the men in red robes, right? It said that since the end of the Greyhawk Wars and since the rise of Ayus, all sorts of evil things are starting to walk the road, and the Scarlet Brotherhood. They seem to be skulking out from their secrets deep in the jungles of the Medjo jungle and Hetmona land. So, a secret society that is now brazenly walking the courts and not necessarily in the yeomanry, but all around. There's lots of dangerous times. So who knows? You guys are at. Let's just refresh our memory of where we are too. Boom. Also, because I love looking at this map.
It brings back a lot of memories.
It really does. Here we go.
I never really got to play in Greyhawk, so this is fun.
Nice. So you guys are around
in Forgotten Realms.
Yeah, around here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry. Just kidding.
Yeah. So the other regions near the Hold of the Sea Princes. I think the Hold of the Sea Princes has actually fallen to the or at least the rumor is it's fallen to the sway of the Scarlet Brotherhood. So, yeah, there's lots of dangerous things walking the lands right now too. It's said that even the principality or the countries, the Ulek states, that they're under siege by humanoids. There's an army from the Pomarsh, yes, and down from the Lort Mills as well too, that have augmented the Pomarsh, the humanoids in the Pomarsh. But yeah, it is dangerous times all over. I mean, Jeff and Steric have fallen to giants even. The yeomanry is beset by giants, not within the last 10 years. It is a dangerous time in the Flanace. But with all those, your imagination's getting kind of getting away with you. The one who seems to be having their imagination going even further is Vitali. Vitali is just really geared up by this, and from the look on his face and how pale his complexion is in the morning, you get the sense that he did not get a single lick of sleep.
Do you not travel these rivers a lot?
Do which, sorry?
Dorman asked him if he travels these rivers a lot. I mean, he must be used to danger.
I have, yes, and that's and he gestures why I'm happy to pay for the talent that is required to keep us safe. But it seems every passing year, things thankfully the wars are at an end. The shadow still seems to fall. The roads and the byways are more dangerous now than I've ever seen them. Normally we see that as an opportunity, but one needs to be alive in order to enjoy their opportunity, no?
Indeed.
Then, unless there's anything else you guys wish to do, let's see here.
So Druin starts to, gather up the troops before we head out, and
Yep.
it's like, would you guys wish me to, inspect and bless your weapons before we head out for the day? I've got a bad feeling about today.
What do you mean bless our weapons?
Well, it's not like a spell. It's not going to enchant them or anything, but
What's good as a blessing then?
from the father of battle, it's the next best thing.
I'll pass.
Fair enough. Didn't expect much from a gnome.
Well, you can give the gods lip service if you like.
Anyone
Chael?
else?
Elanion?
This
Any
is a
blessing-
tradition.
Any blessing is better than none. Say your piece.
Okay.
Besides, I think that he might not like me stabbing people in the back, so there's that. I do things like that. Not to my allies, though.
Yes, sure. Elanion will take it.
All right. So Druin will take their weapons and he'll just set them across his lap, and he'll do a silent prayer to clang it in and make sure the weapons are in good shape, and pull his whetstone out for his own blades and just sharpen them a little before we head out. Hand everyone their weapons back.
Yeah, Dorman will open his prayer book, which is his spell book, and prepare his spells.
Okay. Chael, what about you? What are your devotions in the morning for when you're preparing your spells? Or is it the morning that they prepare?
Chael, a lot of his stuff is music. So he carries a elven flute that he often will play a brief arpeggiated section of music to in the morning as he greets the sun as it rises.
Yep.
And that's really kind of how he does his worshipful interaction and recovering spells.
Nice. Okay. And then, Hobbs, you're preparing your spells, I guess, first thing in the morning as well. What does your spell book look like?
Hey, I'm ready for that question, I guess. So we'll say that he's definitely like a savage guy. So I was actually thinking it's probably carvings along like his staff or something.
Sure. Yeah, that works for me. I was thinking you could do it like Dark Sun, where it's like knots in a thread that you or on rope that you keep hanging from you, or something like that.
Yeah, I was thinking like vines and such wrapped around maybe his bow, or because I don't even know if I have a staff. I was just looking at the picture, but something like that as opposed to threadings. But certainly more of a natural,
Okay.
non-GMO.
Non-GMO. Has this spell book been given any steroids? Was it fed ground up other spell books?
Hormone free and antibiotic free.
That's right.
It's going to be vegan free too.
Okay.
It's not certified organic, but we'll take it.
Nice. So then the following day, I keep getting distracted. I go to look at the weather and then promptly get distracted by talking to you guys. It's an easily distractible DM.
Squirrel.
Yeah, exactly. What's that? Ooh. Oh, boy. Anna Banana had her first day of school today.
Yeah,
For
how'd you like
training.
it?
She likes her classes. She likes her teacher. Doesn't like the other students all that much. Seems so. She is. I got to talk to her trainer tomorrow. And for those listening at home, this is my dog, not my child.
I know, that's what I'm sitting here thinking. Like, I think it's the dog, but I don't know. But then he said trainer. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
that's the
So I'm
dog.
gonna talk to her tomorrow. So she was fine with being left behind, which is great, and she did very, very well. But they had to basically put like a they call it a gentle something or other. It's like basically a band that goes over her mouth to calm her down and then prevent her from kind of like freaking out other dogs. But it's awesome. They pair her up with a mentor dog who is like this, like a totally chill dog. So it doesn't matter what she does, the dog's like, "Mm." So it's pretty great. All right, so the weather is a little bit warmer than it was before. So weather's gone up a little bit. Still is that chill with the morning mist, and you guys are able to set out. It's almost as if you guys are getting to know this whole stretch of the river backwards and forwards now. And by the, nothing really stands out. You get used to passing by some of the farmers working in the field or the farmhands who, kind of wave at you guys as you're passing by, and you guys wave back, and they go back to work, and you go back to staring off down the river.
Could we shout to them if we wanted to?
Of course.
Dorman will say, have you seen any eels recently?
One of them yells back at you, "Not in the field!" And the other farmer with him kind of starts killing himself laughing.
Yeah.
So I guess
Druin starts scratching his head. He's like, does he not know the eels are in the water?
I don't try to correct stupid.
So the
Never a word.
you ask along, and maybe there is someone who's watering a cow down by the river. And they look down at the water for where the cow's drinking and are like, "God, I hope not." Did you see some?
A few days back in Redwood.
Oof. Well, if you took care of it, hopefully that's all of them. And he kind of pulls the cow back. Come on.
Yeah.
And the cow kind of boom, boom, boom goes up, and it says, Farlon be with you, or Farlon watch over. And that
Blessings
evening,
of the Silverbeard.
nice. So that evening, you guys are finding yourself once again back on the bank. Now, are you guys going on North Bank or South Bank?
I could use to kill some goblins, so how about the North Bank?
Stay on the North Bank. You got it. All right. So everyone's kind of chilling out by the fire on the North Bank again. And let's see who's on watch. Numero cuatro. That'd be Druin. So Druin, you are on watch. Druin, since you are the only one on watch, would you kindly give me a D10 roll, please, for surprise?
Ah.
You don't have a dex modifier, I take it?
Negative.
Negative, okay. So that means that you are surprised. So let me get... I don't want to ruin your surprise for you, so let me get myself on the DM layer here.
Sorry, guys.
I, for one, blame Kev.
Yes, this is all true.
Yeah. Yep.
He's the architect of our suffering.
That is. Very true. Oh, gosh. I just can't wait to get, with the way the weather's been the last couple of days, I can't wait till Saturday's Ash session. There's going to be one fucking blizzard coming in.
Oh, no.
Okay.
How's their Ash session? Do you need more players?
Do you want to join us on Saturday morning?
Yeah, we're thinking about it.
Okay, well, let's talk about it when we get offline. Yeah,
Sounds good.
because that game more than anything accommodates new players pretty easily. You will start at first level, but you will catch up pretty quick because Arlen's guy is one level behind everyone now after his first character died.
Is the same setting as the one that I played in?
Yeah, it's Tula, yeah.
No.
Nice.
So if I wanted to bring Velicatos out of retirement,
That would be difficult at this point, but if you
okay.
are interested in joining back in, I'll let you know.
Gotcha. Well, I like my every other Saturday sleeping in, so we'll see.
Yeah, there's that too. There is something to be said for a little bit of sleep. Let's see here. Frogs.
No frogs.
Frogs, you meant like small, little...
If I get in my frog, I'm haunting you, Druin.
Okay.
Should I be using like a astonishing fortune point to re-roll that surprise, guys? That's like a...
Nah.
No? Just let the chips fall where they may?
Yeah.
I'll save that point not to die, if you please.
So I can't make these any smaller because the way that the tokens work in
You can if you
Roll20.
turn them into a drawing, resize them, and turn them back.
Right, but I'm not going to do that. Once they're down, once you scale it to one of the squares, it just sticks, and you. Oh, actually, hold on. I think I can do something here. Wait.
I think you can hold shift down and do that.
Alt.
Alt.
Pretty sure it's alt.
Yeah, Alt or pull them free of the grid.
Let's see here. Alt. Yep, there we go. Fucking Hobbs. Check out the big brain on Hobbs.
3,000 hours on Roll20.
Wow.
And that's all I got.
Just screams out one word, Alt.
Alt.
They're trying to get me to play my backup character.
Captain Alt.
Okay, so Druin, you're there. You know, let me roll randomly where these things are coming from. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh boy.
Is there a battle map we're supposed to be seeing?
Nope,
Not
because
yet.
they're hidden right now.
Okay.
He's setting the stage.
Yep, I'm just getting everything ready so I can do the reveal.
Frogs enter stage
I
left.
love me a good reveal here. All right, guys. So then, Druin, what is it that is capturing your attention so much that you're not focused on your defenses?
Wondering what new nickname I should give myself next 10 day that most applies to my priesthood.
Good question.
Will I nickname myself something after the giant killer, the goblin blade, worm slayer? I don't know. But some kind of, lesser version of my god.
So there was, I'm just trying to find the, I thought I had uploaded this illustration before, not illustration, but this doctored photo from before. But it's a joke that dates back to our Barrow Maze days. It's the frog with the shark teeth.
Oh, poor Sir Albus.
Yeah. Well, it's good that I had that. I wish I'd loaded into Roll20 because...
May none of us join him.
Yeah. So then what I'm going to do is pull these here. And I'm going to put something a little more dramatique on here. Let's see here. Is this the one? Nope.
The Jaws theme song.
Oof. There we go. Yeah. The feral chase one. Okay. All right. So, then what? Oh boy, Hobbs. I am really sorry for this. You showed up just for this bullshit.
No
Okay.
problem.
So, as these things hop along, Druin, you out of the very corner of your eye, you're unfortunately not going to be able to act this round. But let's take a look at what has revealed itself. In 3, 2, 1. Tiny, somehow, 5.
We're on the wrong map still.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, we're on the main map.
Boom.
The river.
Hi, what's up? What's up? Who we barking at?
There you go.
Oh, thank God I'm on the other side of the fire.
There we go. I can see us.
There we are.
What's up, sweetie? Come here, come. Anna, come. Come here. One sec, guys.
Let's leave the wizard over here by himself.
Well, better than the guy that's paying us. If he dies, we don't get money.
Give it to me, give it to me.
Like 17 gold each, I think, for getting him back safely.
Ooh, that does sound like a lot.
Okay.
Except that we're going to have to raise our prices because it's been really dangerous.
Okay. Then, guys, what happens first? They get their action first because of a round of surprise. I'm going to say that most of their movement has been spent getting here. And
I would like it noted that I did make the request on whether or not to re-roll the surprise and was voted no. So
yeah.
if anybody dies from this,
Oh,
Let the record
shit.
show.
Well, you can spend your point not to die.
I'm going to say that that's where they got. You know what, Dave? Why don't you spend that point of astonishing fortune to re-roll your surprise? Because this could end really poorly for... There's only 4 of you this time.
yeah, I'm going to veto the rest of the people who said no. I'm going to re-roll it.
Yeah.
This is just me.
Yeah,
There
we
you
are
go.
not
Okay.
surprised.
So you spot this, and what I'll do is I'll move him back just a scooch here. So there you can see him. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer here. Objects and tokens. Oh, boat. They've kidnapped the boat. Look out, guys. Someone
Run away,
grab...
boat.
It's tiny frog pirates. All right, there we go. Okay, so these things are, making their way in. Not only do they have a mouthful of jagged, shark-like teeth, they also have tiny little taloned claws too. We're not sure what kind of horrific mutation has spawned these things, but they do not look friendly. So then we're gonna roll initiative for Druin and the frogs. They're pretty small, so they are pretty quick. But Dave, why don't you start us off with roll initiative? I rolled a 1. 9. Okay, so they're going first. All right. So they can move half and then attack.
We're gonna post our time in there, right?
Okay, what's charge? It's 1.5 your move, -2 initiative.
And -2 to your AC.
Yeah.
All right, so this thing is gonna.
Need to get a
they can
shield in
leap.
front of the.
They can. Oof. They can leap 180 feet though. So. Phew,
They
boof.
can do what now?
Yeah, they're jumping little buggers. All right, Hobbs, what is your AC without your Dex bonus?
So I've been assuming that I have armor because it lasts until you take damage. So I could have
Yep.
done it ages ago, even though I don't take that spell. So AC 6.
You say even though you don't take that spell?
Yeah, because it just lasts until it gets
Okay.
removed. Duration is forever, right? So
Yeah.
until you take 8 points of damage or whatever it is.
Okay, so sorry, what's your AC?
6.
6, and it's without your AC bonus or Dex
Correct.
bonus. Okay.
Correct. I don't
All
have
right.
a dex bonus, so.
So 8. Okay, so that is a miss. So the first thing it leaps in, and because this has multiple attacks, its claw first kind of lands and misses. Next one is going to leap onto Elanion as well too. Elanion, you are awake now. That is a miss as well. They still have a second. They still have more attacks later. Just that Druin gets to make his attack because of iterative attacks. I think Vasily is going to get one on him. See here, Vasily is hit with a bite, and Vasily takes a whopping. Vasily does not have a lot of hit points too. He takes 3 points of damage from this thing chomping in. He screams out in pain. And then I guess this one's going to try and get to Chael. Down. Chael, that's a 2's not going to hit your AC, regardless of whatever it is. And then, boom, Dorman.
No.
What is your AC, Dorman? I think it's not a 3.
No, it's not. My AC, well, it would be a 3 if I had my dex.
No Dex bonus. Wait, because you're sleeping in your armor?
Well, I have the armor spell.
You have the armor spell, okay, yeah. So, unfortunately, you take 4 points of damage from this bite. That was their first attacks. They still have multiple attacks. Druin, what are you doing?
Druin is going to step in and attack this one right here that's trying to eat our pay.
Yep. Our pay. Get off a paycheck.
We have a responsibility to keep him alive.
Yep. So go ahead and make an attack. AC 0 is definitely a hit.
And small creatures.
Small creature, yes. Oh yeah, that eel was the first one. Oh! Annihilate this thing.
Splat.
Yep. Okay, excellent. Then, these things have other attacks. Yeah. So it will try and claw. So I got 2 claws on Elanion from one of them. Let's see here. Elanion, your AC is currently a 6, so you're hit 1 time. Elanion, you take 2 points of damage from that. And then another one on you, Elanion. Neither of them managed to hit. You're just squirming, and you can picture your bedrolls just being torn to shit by these tiny little claws. Chael, you have 2 claws on you. What's your current AC without Dex bonus?
I believe it's an 8. Let me make sure. Yeah, it's an 8.
It's an 8. Okay, so then one of the claws hits you. You take 1 point of damage. If you have your armor on, what kind of armor are you wearing?
It's leather.
Oh, leather. Okay, so no DR.
Yeah.
And then Dorman. Okay. Your AC is currently a 6.
It's 5,
5? Why 5?
because my dex bonus is 2.
Remember, no dex bonus.
Yeah, no dex bonus. I have the armor spell makes my AC 3, but since I don't have my dex, I subtract 2 from that.
Armor
Yeah,
makes it
Wait, how?
6.
It's 6.
Isn't it?
Armor makes it 6.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm reading it right now. Serves as if you wear ring mail armor AC 6.
Okay, nope, it's 6 then, you're right. Okay.
Okay.
Is it because of my size? No?
Could be, I mean, your dex
Oh,
is
no,
quite
no,
good.
my dex adjustment is 3, that's why.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I figured. Okay. 1 hits.
Then I'm down.
Well, hold on. Let's see here. You only take 1 point of damage, so you're at 0.
Okay.
You're in that hovering negative zone. You're not dying yet, but
I mean, do I get to act in second edition at 0?
nope. You're unconscious.
That's what I figured.
Okay,
I'm out.
so then that, I think, is the end of the round, guys. Round 2 is a more favorable round. If you got multiple attacks, you'll be able to use them this round. Dave, you lost initiative, so it passes to John. You got something to do at least. You're rolling initiative for us. So, everyone, oof.
D10.
I rolled a 9. You got a 2. Nice. Okay, so remember to add whatever your action is, the speed of your action, to the 2 into chat. You don't need to describe what it is. Just put the number in there, and that'll tell us what order we're going in. These things
So
are...
weapon speed?
Yeah, your weapon speed, if you're attacking.
So then if you're moving, it's just part of their... Like you have to move a couple squares? That's half of your move?
If you're just moving, your weapon speed is the thing that dictates what you're adding.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, and then go ahead and type it in, guys. Chael's got a nice. Okay.
Oh, shit. I typed in the wrong spot.
It's in your party notes.
1.
Do you have a -1?
No, the casting time for the spell is 1.
So you add it to the
Right,
2.
so you got to add it to whatever is rolled for initiative.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
That's good.
Sorry, buddy.
That's okay.
Oh,
So 3.
I thought we were just adding the number. That is my fault. I screwed up too. My bad.
Yeah, that's okay. The
So,
awesome. Okay, so then the actual order of everyone acting. Well, first up, I'm acting on a 10. So first up is Elanion. What is your first action?
Oh, so Elanion rattles off some eldritch speak in Sylvan, and his fist turns into stone.
Nice. Do you get to make an attack with it this round, or is it just that it's become stone?
I don't know. It doesn't really say. It says upon completion of the spell, it is flexible. It says what you can do with it. It doesn't really necessarily say. Well, it's only 1 round per level, and I was going to use my ability to use it for D4 rounds. But since it's only 1 round per level, I'm assuming you can attack with it.
I don't think so. I think that'll tell you how many attacks you get with it. Because if the spell manifests when you complete it, that's at the end of your action.
Okay.
Yeah. So you.
Fine with me.
Yeah,
But I just mean if it's only 1 duration round per level, that means it would be gone next round.
That means you get to use it next round, and then it's gone. Correct.
But I have the ability for Earth Elemental once per day. I can cast if I was 1d4 levels higher.
Yep. You want to do that?
Yeah. Oh, one. Wait. I wrote S. I wrote S. No, it's not an actual roll. Everyone, calm down. No, do not fret, chat room. There we go.
4. Nice. Okay. And
so I cast it as a 5th level.
So when this happens, does your fist transform, or does like earth come up from the ground and surround your fist?
Earth comes up and surrounds it.
Awesome.
Surely.
Master of stonework. Cool. All right. Then next is Chael. What are you doing?
Chael's gonna try and attack one of those frogs there with his longsword.
Give him shit.
Let's
So
see.
hold on. Is he standing then too, or is he doing this while he's prone?
Well,
Oh, and I
not
guess he's
used to
drawing
it.
his sword as well too, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that's what you're doing with your round, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah. So that's drawing the weapon then.
Okay. So you got your weapon. You could stand then for free.
Okay. So yeah, that's definitely what he's gonna do.
Okay. So you stumble for free. Druin, what are you doing? 1 frog down, 4 to go.
Yeah. I'm going to move to here, and I will attack the one that just took down Druin.
Just Druin.
Carmen.
I don't think you can move when you're casting spells, Hobbs, because it's AD&D.
I can't remember.
Yeah. The one that's attacking. Sorry, which one?
Dorman.
Dorman. Yeah, go ahead. It's not so much attacking him right now as it is feeding on him.
Feeding on him? Yeah. It's just trying to prevent the whole...
It's about his size, too, so it's about to put that shark... Oh, no.
I would like you to use Astonishing Fortune.
All right. I will... with the power of my god, I will myself to hit this.
Okay. Here we go, and big money.
Blessing.
Hits AC 1.
That is absolutely a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
And smite the
5.
creature.
Okay. So as you are looking down at this thing, it is about to sink its jaws. You know, it bit Dorman, and he kind of pulled away, and then it clawed at him, and he lays still. And this thing was about to sink its teeth into his exposed, bulbous kind of neck, and then your giant axe comes down onto him.
This is I'm dual wielding, so that only hit AC 3. I have to remember that. Do I put that into the last adjustment?
Oh, okay.
-2, -4.
Yes, you would. Oh, so you've got... Are you weapon specialized as well?
Yeah.
So you'd have 2 attacks this round with one of your other weapons plus another one from your offhand.
Right. So if I do offhand, I just
-4.
in on this. It's put in -4 on this last miss bonus.
Yes. Okay, so hold on, but because you got multiple attacks, the frogs will get a chance to attack first.
Okay.
Because remember, in the way we do it, everyone gets one first pass with all their attacks, then we do a second pass with all the attacks, then we do as many as is needed.
But the multiple attack is 2 at the same time for the first time, right?
No, same thing.
2 weapon?
Two weapon is still multiple attacks. Does not matter because you're not just going and like swinging them both together.
Okay.
Like
you'll still get all your attacks.
Think of it when have you ever seen in any media where someone is going simultaneously bopping shit with both hands at the same time?
No, but it's a 6-second span, so it could be attacked.
You are trying to apply logic to a game of abstraction. That is not a game you'll ever win. So
that's not the point, Kev. I'm not trying to argue it. I'm just trying to understand it. So I'm specialized in a battle axe, and I'm specialized in hand axe.
The problem is you're trying to figure out how many attacks you have?
Yeah, I'm trying to ask.
Yes.
So I'm specialized in battle axe and hand axe. I'm wielding one in each hand.
Yeah.
And so they're both 3 per 2.
Oh, yeah. Then you would have multiple attacks with both of them.
Right. So attack with both of them in the first before the bad guys, and then
all
attack
attacks
with both of them after?
Yes, all attacks are prorated. If you have 4 attacks because you got multiple hands or because you got multiple weapons, it's still prorated across the round.
So you take 1 always first, and then any additional attacks come after.
Yes. In the same way that monsters, when they have multiple attacks, this is one of the ways AD&D differs from basic, is that you prorate the attacks through iterative attacks.
So I'll get 3 attacks after the monster's attack.
No. You'll get a second attack after the monsters make their first attack. Then they may have a second attack. Then you'll get a third attack.
Okay.
It's spread out across the round.
Okay, sure. I'll figure it out. I'm still confused, but...
Okay.
You'll see.
So then that was Druin's first attack. Then it is... Oh, it's all you guys. Because Dorman's just lazing about doing nothing.
Well, what happens when I get ambushed?
You can ask Carl about that. Carl got... His character in Ash got ambushed in her sleep about 5 times in the course of about 5 months.
Now, he stays at 0, right, Kevin?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so there's no kind of like continuing negative, drawing down, and all that?
Not for 0, I don't think. No.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah. Okay, so I could be wrong about that, and I'll look it up afterwards, but...
That's fine.
Okay, so the next one is then the toad. So now that you're standing, Chael and Elanion, now that you're awake, you guys both get to apply your same AC bonus. You're going to get a little bit of a penalty to your AC, Elanion, because you're still prone.
Still just the armor spell, 6.
Yeah, so that's good. Okay, so then first bite against you, Chael, misses. First bite against Elanion, likewise misses. And then the other one misses as well. Fucking rolling 3, 4, 4.
Good.
Okay, so the first round of attacks are done by the toads. Now, Dave, you get your second attack.
So my offhand or my second attack with my battle axe?
Whatever one you want. You got 2 attacks with your battle axe this round. You got 2 attacks with your hand axe this round. You can put those in whatever order you like.
Okay. So I'll go with the battle axe again? Or... no, I'll go with the hand axe. It makes sense that...
Okay. So this one will be at -4 then, but you also get the +1 from specialization. So it'll be at -3 total. Unless you've already factored the what do you call it?
I put the specialization bonuses under the...
Okay, then just put -4.
Under the attack damage, attack adjustment and damage adjustment next to the weapon.
Yep.
And then it automatically pulls from the strength bonus if there is one, right?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
So let's see. Ooh, that's actually a hit. So, whack. Oh, hold on. That includes the -4?
That includes the -4.
Fucking nice one. Well done. Okay, yeah, so that's a hit. Give us a damage roll with your hand axe. Four points of damage. All right, so you injure... Oh, no, actually, that kills another one. Nice.
Okay.
All right. Then it is the toads get to make their second attack. So we got 1 claw on Elanion. Oof. That is a hit. You take another 1 point of damage there, Elanion, as this thing's tearing at you. It's kind of climbing on top of you, trying to get a better vantage to bite you. The other one, you have an AC of 6 right now, is also a hit. Oh, but you get your AC, your dex bonus. What is your dex bonus?
I don't have a dex bonus.
Oh, no. 2 points of damage from that one.
So I'm at 0 as well.
Okay. So then, Elanion seems to be unconscious as well, as these 2 of these things are climbing on top of him, ready to take meaty chunks out of him. Druin, what are you doing?
I'm not within range of hitting anybody, so
You can picture that they've gone on top of him. Let me just move 2 back.
Okay, then I still have a swing with each axe from my 3x2.
Okay. So you're 2 front. Boom.
-2.
Back. Why is that not layering properly? What's going on here?
Ooh, AC 10 is probably not going to cut it.
AC 10 is not good enough, unfortunately. But they have 1 more claw, so they're going to claw you, Druin. What is your AC?
4.
4. Okay, so that is not going to hit. And then the second one, nat 20, is a hit. No crits, though. No crits. You take 2 points of damage as one of these things leaps from your fallen foe, sees you coming in, and claws at you. You have 1 more attack.
Armor?
What's that?
Does he have medium armor? He might have damage reduction.
I think he does.
Oh, he's wearing splint mail.
Splint mail, I think, is medium, isn't it?
DR1?
I think it's DR1, yeah.
So I take 1 point?
You take 1 point of damage. Okay, and then it is...
Druin's last axe?
You know what, guys? I think if you're getting the armor spell and the benefit of ring mail, that should give you a DR1. Why don't you get...
Hey, I don't want to be devil's advocate, but the spell specifically says it does not absorb the damage. So I don't know if that's going to work.
Yeah,
no,
but
that's different than his DR house rule, right?
Okay. Yeah. So I think that you guys, let's do this.
You gonna let me retcon 2 damage?
What's that? No, you cannot retcon and do damage. You're getting the benefit of a DR going forward. So I'll give you a 1. Each of you guys put yourself at 1 hit point. And then... Dave, you have your last attack here, your final attack.
At -4, because it's offhand.
Yeah, here comes Druin's...
Nope.
So that is a miss. All right, guys, so we are at the end of the round. I think I lost initiative, so John keeps initiative. Guys, decide what you want to do this round, and then, John, would you kindly beat my 4? 5. Initiative passes to Will. Let's see what happens here. 2. Oh, actually, I want to make a morale check as well, too. Let's see. Holy shit. Okay. All right, so I'm acting on a 5. So I think I'm acting before any of you guys.
Yeah, I think I have a 8, but I'm trying to... Hand is just, like, punching is just a 3, right?
Punching is just a 3, yeah. I think same as dagger.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they're running. That's why they get so move.
Okay. All right. So then I think what... so yeah, they're running. So let's hear Elanion and Druin and Chael. Go ahead and make attacks of opportunity, guys. These things are just flipping out and phew, springing away.
Oh, they failed their morale.
Yeah, I failed their morale. I rolled an 18 on their morale.
Does an attack of opportunity incur the two-handed penalties? Or is it just a free swing at something?
It's a free swing, yeah. So if you're only the attack, the penalty for two-weapon fighting is only when you're attacking with all those things in one round. Like you wouldn't, if you attack with just your hand axe, you would just get your specialized attack rate with it.
It's not going to make a difference.
19. Yeesh. Chael, big hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Not a lot of damage. So
No, you definitely made it think twice. You've cut along the flank of it. Elanion, do you want to try and punch this thing?
I rolled a 5. I missed.
Oh, did you? Okay, yeah. So then the two frogs or two remaining ones leap off into the water and disappear beneath the blackened waves. So then, guys.
Dorman just looks up at the sky and says, I am tired of these fucking frogs.
Seriously.
Looks
They
like
messed
you
you
have another
guys up.
chance to make frog legs, though.
This is true.
I'm going to channel my inner hatred of these things and make some damn good frog legs.
Okay, let's see here. That was decent frog legs, yeah. So he dresses them for the evening. And
I slow roast them in
Druin
the
looks
middle of the fire.
Druin looks over everybody and sees most everyone's been hurt a little bit.
yep.
A lot of it.
Vasily and Dorman look probably the worst off. No, wait, Elanion's hurt pretty hard too.
Yeah. Eleni and
gonna
Dorman have
heal.
some... Oh, go ahead, Will.
I was just gonna say I'll go ahead and cast Cure Light Wounds on Dorman.
I appreciate it.
Okay,
So
That's
1d8.
I think.
Yeah.
that works well.
You roll
Dorman
average, I'll be fine.
Dorman doesn't seem to want anything from Silverbeard, so
Well, I'll take magical healing, but a fake blessing? No.
Yeah.
no. It wasn't a fake blessing. It was like a priest of Silverbeard blessing the weapons. It's a tradition
Oh,
that
crap.
the dwarves do before battle. So, anyways, Elanion, you would need some healing, perhaps?
I would think healing dwarf.
I may
So,
appreciate it there.
we haven't traveled together. I have a specific way of delivering the healing. Don't be too alarmed.
Oh boy.
Wow.
So,
You slip him some tongue, man.
Druin clasps his left hand over his holy symbol that hangs around his neck, the pair of crossed axes, and says a prayer to Clangadin for granting him the power to heal. The silver light starts to shine through his fingers, and his body infuses with energy, and then he punches your wound, and you're healed for 5 points of damage.
Boom.
Do I take any damage from the punch?
You do not, no.
Oh,
No. It's just enough to make contact, and the energy flows through the wound, into the wound.
all right.
And then he'll heal Vasily.
Is it Vasily? Vasily?
Vasily.
Vasil?
Vasily.
I've heard him called like 5 different things in this single session.
Keeping you on your toes, Hobbs, that's all.
I like it. I like it.
5 points of healing to our
Patron.
Benefactor.
Yeah.
benefactor. I like benefactor. That's all for healing that I have right now. But
What's the middle of the night? We'll be fine.
come morning, I'll get 2 more.
Yeah, I mean, how often does the DM get to roll for encounters in a given even? Oh, my.
Like every hour.
I'm so sorry, guys.
sorry, the goblins showed up right after the frogs.
So how much did... so you healed Eleni, you're up at full, aren't you?
Yep. Yeah, I have it. I just haven't hit save. Sorry.
Hanging us in... Keeping us in suspense.
He looks pretty wounded still.
Well, once a storyteller, always a storyteller. Jeez.
Drama.
Oh, you think you'd take me down? Well, boom, full health. Okay, Dorman, did you only get 1 out of that?
Yes.
Oof.
My
Dorman
bad.
is sullen, so he's staying up the rest of the night just so we don't get surprised again.
Okay. Give me
We
an
weren't
endurance
actually
check.
surprised that time.
Because
Yeah,
you,
we weren't
actually have
surprised. Remember, I
endurance, right?
re-rolled it.
You thought we were.
I was sleeping, so I was surprised.
Yeah. Dorman, give us a endurance check, please.
I have the endurance skill.
I know.
The
Skill check.
damn it! I fall asleep on the rock.
No, you
it's
get
not that.
fatigue.
It's you're taking a little bit of fatigue.
I don't care.
Well, actually,
We're
no,
almost back. So
okay. So you are at -1 to attack, -1 to saves, and -1 to your AC until we hear otherwise. So you guys get up in the morning, and there is some wonderful, frog leg frittatas that Dorman has apparently spent all night preparing. But he's bleary-eyed, and he's pale, and he's
Should've
also
got some sleep. No.
he's
I
also
meant Bergour.
lost his dog too, right? Within the last couple of days. So I
he's
think
not having a good week.
no, it's been a rough week. But let's see here. This is now the 11th of flock time. I believe that this may be your final day of travel until you reach back to Melbourne. Let's take a look at the map, guys.
Druin goes and explains the tradition of the Clangadin followers and how they prepare for battle, even if the battle is not imminent. And the preparations and blessing the weapons is more of a tradition than...
He's effectively blaming him for...
just trying to explain it so the gnome can understand.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to explain things a few times.
I understand tradition. I come from a traditionalist society. I just see no point in it.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's not a knock against your faith.
Oh, it's a knock against my faith. You're telling me my faith. You're telling me that it's not valuable, and it is valuable.
It's valuable to you.
The dwarves have been doing it for centuries, and the Clangadin warriors win their battles because.
Look here, you xenophobic dwarf.
I can see it already. There's going to be a clinch heel that's going to be required, and then you see Druin go, shaking that silver beard of his.
I like
don't-
Druin.
I like Dorman. Dorman just doesn't seem to understand, so I'll have to explain it another way tomorrow.
Nice. All right, so your final day of
Perfect
travel.
religious zealot. I like it.
Final day of travel sees roughly the same weather from the day before. Mist in the morning, which quickly clears once the sun arises. And you guys finally find yourself back in Melbourne. You've never been so happy to see that half-built bridge as you see sticking out into the Turnip River. So, guys, congratulations on a trip back and forth from from Thurmaster again. And let's see, the amount of pay that was agreed to, I believe, was 17 gold per character, right?
Correct.
Now, John, are you tracking the treasure that everyone should be getting? Are you
Yeah.
how are you doing that?
I have a running total. It's in our party loot.
Right. So here's what I'm thinking is that in the party loot, would you be able to put like what date they're getting the money? So that way players who can just go in and go, oh, I missed this session. This is what I got that day.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the ones I have so far. Okay. So Calidor hasn't been back.
We're only in session 6 anyway, so we don't need to worry too much about what's happened before, just from maybe this one, because that way everyone who isn't here today knows they can go in and see, I missed this session. I'll get 17 gold. So put session 6.
17 GP, got it.
Yeah, 17 GP. Thanks, John.
Okay, and I'll get prior to session 6.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out how many XP or.
You're not getting anything. XP, apart from the loot, you're not getting any XP for sessions you missed.
That's what I was talking about. Is the loot. I don't know how much it is, so I don't know how much XP it would be. Right?
Well, if you recall, I did tell you at the outset that you got 129 GP, which meant you got 129 XP for that.
I wrote that one down, but I missed more sessions than that, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, I think that was the most lucrative one they've had.
Okay.
That was it, yeah.
The previous session was 17 silvers and like 9 copper.
19 copper, yeah.
So you were one XP behind Hobbs.
That's literally it.
You need everyone. All right, so you guys do arrive back in, and once again, you can see that. Oh, what is her name here? Is that big blonde woman is working the docks again. Her name is
Not
Capella. Right, Capella. So she looks over and she's working on some kind of woodcraft or whatnot, and she gets you to throw the ropes over, ties you up at the dock near the boathouse, and says, "You returned Kuiper's boat, then, right?"
We did. And we left him a note.
Okay, sorry guys, I was putting down. I almost put down you got back in Mulemaster, which is Forgotten Realms, not Greyhawk.
Totally different place.
Yep, that was a real long trip. That's why I felt so long. So then you guys get back to town. Vasily is very grateful for your assistance. He happily pays you the 17. In fact, I think he's going to give you 1 extra GP each, just because, well, let's say 3. He'll give you 20 in total each, because you guys saved him from the eel and 2 sets of frogs, and from whoever those strange travelers were making their way down the river at night.
Do we, Vasily, should we report or find out who those travelers might have been? Like, is there a merchant guild or...
He kind of looks. He says, "Is there a sheriff in town? Perhaps that. That's not."
There's Geralt.
If you're in my business, it's best not to, unless it is an immediate threat to oneself. It's often best to avoid losing one's nose by keeping it out of smugglers' business, if that is indeed what they are.
Fair enough.
Then, thank you all again. I'll be setting out first thing in the morning, and I could use a sleep. But please, your first round at the Baron will be on me.
Fabulous.
Okay.
Use a good rest.
Blessings of the Silverbeard to you, my friend.
Thank you, and may your God smile upon you too. And he leaves. So then, guys, what is the plan next?
Well, definitely a day of downtime, because Dorman is real shook up and he needs some relaxation.
Yep. Okay, so what's he thinking?
Drinks, warm bed, and check with Geralt, or who's the guy that has the dogs? He might get a new dog.
The owner of the kennels is Nafton.
Nafton.
I'm not sure if you've met Nafton. You've heard about Nafton and his dogs, because everyone in town seems to have one of them. Mm-hmm. But I'm not sure. Maybe you've seen him? This is who Nafton is.
Looks familiar.
Okay, so maybe you have. It shows as something that's been displayed to you already, so...
Oh, was he one of the guys that met us when we came into town the first time?
No, that was... Dagmire and his son.
Oh, yes.
Is that right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or Rendemus and his son, Dagmire. His son was Dagmire. Boom.
Yes.
Rendemus was quite big. Dagmire was even bigger. So, I'm assuming you're going to get set up back in the tavern again and see. So how many... I think there are 6 rooms that are available. Someone give me a D6 roll. See if all are occupied again, or if you guys are stuck in the common room again. What'd you roll?
Rolled a 1.
A 1? Okay, so that means that there are some rooms available, should you wish to take them. So then, at the Mutton, or the Baron rather, you can, for tonight, you can be in the common room for a whopping 3 silver pieces per night. You can spring for one of the 5 two-person rooms for 5 silver piece per person, or you can get a room for yourself at 9 silver pieces. There's 5 rooms available tonight. Okay. So he'll, go. There's that small copse of trees on the outside of town as well, too. You could probably rest there. If everyone's taking a day off, you guys can tell me what you want to do with your day off. I think, Dorman, you wanted to speak to Nafton about getting a war dog, right?
Yeah. Dorman asked Druin if he wants to share a room.
Sure.
Oh, look at that.
We can get this conversation out of the way.
Did any of you guys get a good look at those guys that were floating downriver in the night? I didn't get one.
I got a real good look at him.
Really? I think we should talk to Geralt. He'll want to know. Well, maybe he won't want to know, but he'll want to know. He'll know who we should talk to, if we should talk to anybody. Seems like shifty work.
Okay.
Yeah, they looked shifty to me.
Okay.
Is that our only lead, really, for the kidnappings, possibly?
We haven't had a lead, so if this qualifies as one, that'd be good.
Yeah.
So that's Geralt there. The
Played by Kurt Russell.
yeah, really. Guy grows an amazing beard now. Jeez. You meet with him again briefly. He has not. He has heard from someone. He's heard from his friend. So actually, we'll role play through this thing. Is it just gonna be Druin and Dorman checking in with Geralt, or do you guys all want to check in with him and let him know?
Yeah, Chell will go
Curious
with
to
me.
hear.
Okay. And what time of day do you guys? Do you want to do it to the day you get back, or you want to wait till the next day? Catch up with them in the evening once you've had a chance to kind of get the grime and shit off of you.
Next
Yeah,
day.
definitely want to get the grime off of us.
Okay. So then next day, if you guys want to fill in anything from the evening you guys get back, feel free to do that. Otherwise, we'll say it's the next day, and this is now the 12th of flock time. You make your way over to his place, and he is, of course, already up. He's used to walking, or waking with the sun. And he and his dog are sort of working on, he's whittling away on something or other, and the dog is working on a chunk of wood, trying to, work it up. He looks up and sees you four approaching and says, I heard you were back in town. Back from Thurmaster, then. How was the trip? How was the river?
Dangerous.
More goblins?
No goblins, frogs and eels.
Well, the farmers did complain about goblin attacks on the north side.
Indeed.
Do you remember that, Dorman? Do you remember the name of the folks who gave us the pies?
I remember it was a delicious jam they had.
I thought you wrote...
That was the Stelren farm.
Stelven.
Yeah, they'd complained that there's been attacks by goblins on them and their neighbors.
Before you encountered those four, or the quartet, or afterwards?
It was after. It was when they met us. They gave us some preserves for kind of like a thank you.
Curious. The Inglorious Bastards set out a day after you had left, those other adventurers, and they headed back north again. At least that was what I heard their plan was. If they plan to travel north, then to Eastdale, then they've... And so you guys know what he's talking about here. Let's take a look at the new map, which has nothing on it yet.
But it's pretty.
So what you can see is, you see how there's a dot. You know what? Hold on. It'll make it easier if I can put it on a thing I can ping. Give me a sec here, guys. Boom. And my library. Okay. Whoops. Come on. Come on, Kev. Fingers, work with me here. Come on. All right. There we are. Let me bring you... Gentlemen, enter my chamber here. Boom. Okay, so this is Melbourne. This down here is, I believe, Holster or Halaster.
Harleton.
Harleton, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Up here is Eastdale. If they're traveling to Eastdale, they're going across the moors sandwiched between the Blandride Hills and the Great Rock Dale. The regions... Yep, that's it. So if they're making their way through basically up and through the region where it seems like Goblin have been preying, then one hopes that their capabilities meet their reputation.
Yeah, because we would have been talking to farms, along this area?
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
we met the Stelran farm right about here is where we ended the first day.
Okay.
hmm
So it's these farms here in this area that are being preyed upon just south of the Great Walktail.
Yep.
And Kuiper's is here.
Yep. It's just east of the of Hogbrook. So,
Well, hopefully they take a dent out of some of the goblin action in that area.
they seemed quite capable, though determined. They asked a lot about the Great Rock Dale. I'm not sure that I would have thought before their conversations with old Grizzler that he would have been immune to the effects of alcohol, but it seems that even the mighty among us have our limits, hey? So, eels and frogs, that seems to be... What do you say? Wait. Little one, didn't you have a dog?
Yes. Unfortunately, one of the eels made off with him.
Oh. I'm
So gross.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, me too. I've had a really bad last 5 days.
The Heronsher, yeah, don't let the farms and pleasantries fool you. This land is only barely is it civilized. Did you see any further signs of orcs?
No, I fear that we'd probably have to go pretty deep into the woods to find sign of them. They're a lot smarter than goblins. So they probably won't make their presence known unless they're going to strike.
Curious.
I would say a lot smarter, but yeah, you're making a point.
Well, I think there's a brain size difference between them because of actual size.
I just think they're both foul, but whatever. We did see some suspicious activity one night on the river.
It wasn't too far from Kuiper's place.
What suspicious activity was that? I mean, he has been... it wasn't him skulking about, was it?
No, it was some fools were traveling at night on the river.
Fools, you say?
Mhm.
What type
Yeah,
of boat?
Same kind of as our barge. They were using torches and pulling ahead to avoid getting stuck. Humans, a lot of them.
There
Local
were
dialects.
two merchants who made their way through and then continued on west along the Churnet. They looked like, well, we thought they were ill, but when one of them fell asleep at the Baron at his table, I'm not sure what rush they were in, but I think we saw them pass through 2 days ago.
Okay.
They made good time.
I think that they paid for it afterwards. I'm not sure what their hurry was, but in any event, they passed through. They didn't strike me as ne'er-do-wells. Was there something about them that caused you to, apart from traveling at night?
Aside from the risks, no.
Was there anything happening in Thurmaster? Anything that would have prompted them to travel so quickly?
Can't think of any.
How was Thurmaster anyway? Did you see what? Did you Lafayette? Was he there?
No.
No, we delivered a message for one of the priest in town, but we left it with what was his name?
Tauster?
Tauster.
We left the message for Lafayette with Tauster.
Yeah.
I'd hate if Lafayette was added to the list of missing. He is, I don't share his faith, but he's a good man and been good to the people of this shire. Then, any other news?
No. Seems like a lot of people to go missing to just be coincidences, though.
I would agree. It's rare that for one to go missing too, but for three that we know of.
Dorman gets a look on his face. He's like, "Do we know generally? Because we know the missing apprentice disappeared just north of here of town, and the other two, maybe we could find out where they were missing and try to scout the area between them to see if there's a
Did
a
she
link.
disappear north of town, or were there
That's the
remnants?
last bit of place where we tracked her to, I think. So
Yeah, person's big feet. That's why we assumed, because Elanion found tracks up there.
Yeah.
Just north of here.
Weren't they all spellcasters?
Cleric, apprentice wizard.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Huh.
interesting.
It's not just the average person going missing.
I mean, spellcasters are a rare lot to begin with.
you know,
2 wizards and a priest. Maybe someone's looking for something.
I spoke briefly with one of the companions of the Inglorious Bastards. They had mentioned that in Eastdale, the rumors of the Great Rock Dale seem to be traveling both north, east, and west, bringing fools from all over, seeking to plumb the region in search of God knows what myth more than anything. But there were two others, an elf gifted in spells and sword, who went missing, apparently causing a bar brawl, from one group accusing another of sabotaging, and another priest as well too. Two disappeared from their belongings. One, they assumed that they lost their nerve. One, blame was placed on another adventuring party. That's
Do we know whereabouts or?
Eastdale is located here.
And that's to the far north, basically.
There is unfortunately no direct route through there. You cannot navigate the... Oh, I gotta check the name, I can't remember. Kev, wouldn't that be good if you labeled the map? In time.
That's
Wait
by
for it.
Friday.
Wait for it.
That'll be like Friday.
So you're talking about that route that travels north with that kind of lake pond.
Yeah, the old
Yeah.
Scut. It's called the Old Scut River.
I think
Okay.
there's going to be waterfalls and treacherous rapids.
Yeah,
coming out
like
of those
there's
mountains.
this region up here, that big lake there is called the Eelhold, and it's there's a dam at the southern tip of it. So there's a dam, and there's the fall of water that comes from the side of the dam, and then it's winding through foothills that run for quite some distance. So you can't really navigate it up river. It's not safe and it's not favored. There used to be a path. There used to be a trade path that would lead from Howler's Moor over here and through the Hardlow Woods towards Eastdale, like right in here. But this region up here, that does seem to be where the what was it? The something glade? The Gleaming Glade?
Yeah. Whoa, we heard something about that. Old Grizzler was mentioned in the Gleaming Glade in Harlow Woods. Some devotee of Nerul had some necromancer was laid to rest there, and there was adventurers looking for treasure.
I'm not certain what you may be able to find it passable, but and I cannot speak as to how close it goes, but the most direct route may be the route that the bastards are favoring through the High Moor. You could travel downriver and around to the west, around the Blandride Hills, travel through. There is a functional trail that makes its way through the Blandride and passes Citadel Silver here, a community of dwarves, and then through to Eastdale, though. I don't know. What's your intent? Do you have a plan? Do you intend to investigate this further?
Well, Tauster had originally tasked us to find his apprentice, did he not?
Well, he asked us if we could. We do have your lady friend, the ranger, looking, but I don't know with the goblins and the orcs and now these
Savine?
frogs from the river.
Yes.
It seems like this place has more than
I had word.
Trouble.
I was so distracted. Forgive me. Clearly my age is getting to me. Serene. I had word from Serene, and the word unfortunately is not good. What we've heard is that she's seen no sign in the Western Shire that of Geralt or any of the other missing parties. Though she did say that there is in the south, she suspects a tribe of gnolls of encroaching. And if those scavengers and demon worshippers have made their way in, I would hope they are not aligned with the orcs, but it seems that there's no end of bad news to be coming to the Shire. And he looks down his leg like, if this was... would that it not be for my injury, I would be out there in the wild ahead of you. As it is, 3 rangers, 1 who can't range. It makes for a region ripe for all forms of peril.
Well, I'm not sure what else we have lined up to do. Maybe, what do you guys think? Head south and see what's going on down there? It'll give us a decent respite from this damned river.
I say head north.
Can we go north up through the hills?
Through the Highmore.
We're going to need quite a bit of provisions for that.
Probably get those in town.
Yeah, what is the distance roughly? Because I don't see a.
About 30 miles.
Sorry.
Is that right?
Is, let's see here. To get to Eastdale. Eastdale is actually not. Let's see here. 10. Melbourne 10, 20, 30, 40 or 50 miles. And it's through some pretty rough country, so it'll take you... the speed of going through there is going to be about 9 miles a day. So you can figure about 4 or 5 days travel.
Is that including short-legged people?
That's accounting for short-legged people, yes. Assuming we're having at least one gnome or dwarf through there. It also gets, depending on how close you want to, get to the Great Rock Dale. If you're trying to kind of hug the inside or the foothills of the Blandride Hills, it may add maybe a day of travel.
Sounds safer though. Maybe those dwarves protect that area around those mines or something.
They are protective of the region. Do you mean the dwarves of Citadel Silver?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. But fortunately, I mean, when you've got 10 or 20 miles of inhospitable hills between you and there, then that's usually enough.
Safer than getting closer to the Great Rock Dale, though, I would say.
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt.
So do we want to strike out towards the Great Rock Dale? Maybe go through the back of the farmlands and see if we can pick up some ideas of where these goblins are coming from? And at least maybe try and make the farms a little safer? Or do we want to...
Why don't we maybe follow the Inglorious Bastards trail and see what happened to them? See what they kick up.
That might be a good idea.
So you set out for Thurmaster from Melbourne on the 2nd of flock time. It's been about 10... they said they left about a day after you guys did.
Oh, okay. I was thinking a day before.
Yeah, so it's about 9 days since they've left.
Yeah, we could see if we see anything. If not, just hug the hills.
Yeah.
That's my vote.
Okay.
Use a nice vacation.
So we're trying to get trying to get to
Eastdale?
Eastdale.
Yeah. And at the very end, we don't have to go all the way up here and then catch the road. You know, we could, if we're hugging these hills, we could just cross the hills.
So the hills would be 4.5 miles per day.
Yeah, it would still, that's only about 5 miles. That's 1 day across here. Otherwise, it was another day.
Exactly. It'll probably add you about the same distance of going through one than the other. The only, the difference will be the
danger level, maybe. I don't know.
The encounters, what things you would find in each of them.
Hill dwarf in the hills. It's just like going home.
So the region, you know that Blandride Hills, goblins, ogres, and gnolls are known to lurk in the Blandrides. I think Geralt could tell you that. In the... Where is it here? Not the Great Rock Dale, but the High Moor. Gnolls, wild dogs, wolves, and ogres.
Nice. Are there... Perhaps we could check around town to see if anyone needs anything taken to Eastdale. Messages, packages.
Yeah, you could try, sure. Yeah, I mean, typically they have to send stuff the long way around, and I'm not sure unless you guys are trying to set up like a merchant kind of thing here, it would just be small items, but like small high value items. Yeah, there's probably. I'll say, you know what? Why don't you give me, Hobbs? Give me a 5d6 roll, please. Nice. So there's in total, I think you guys are going to be able to drum up about 16 gold pieces worth of, of parcels and so forth that are being traveled. And I'll give you some names. That's actually going to be a great way for you to meet some NPCs in there as well too. What you hear, so Eastdale is part of a different kind of smaller political unit from. What do you call it? From Heronshire. And it's actually a region called Middenmark. The Middenmark there is an actual city, largest in kind of the region right up here, called Threshold. And Eastdale, however, is one thing that is sort of characterized by Middenmark, and it's sort of in the same way that, like during the 30 Years' War, whatever the ruler was, that's sort of the religion of the region in Germany. That's sort of what the thing is in Middenmark. The ruler of Middenmark is a devout follower of St. Cuthbert, which means that kind of everyone has to be. And he is very enthusiastic about that part. So there is a church of St. Cuthbert in Eastdale as well. There is also, oddly, a church to, I think it's Istus. But let me double check. I mean, what I'll do is I'll put together kind of between now and Friday session, I'll put something together for you guys that'll give you kind of a, like, things to look for in Eastdale rather than me just sitting through and talking about this stuff. Friday I'll start with a bit of a conversation about that, but let's see here. Is it Istus? Is that who I'm thinking of? Do I have my Greyhawk bona fides here? Let's see here. It is Istus. Nice.
John, you're putting in the 7 or the 20 gold for the trip with this Vasily?
Yeah, it's in the party loot already.
Okay, I'm just crossing it off in the party notes then.
Okay. Yes, and then what I'll do, guys, is I will, if there are any other tasks or whatnot that you have to do beforehand, I will let you know what they are. Like if there are any other things that people hired you for. But what we'll end with, though, is the following day. So this is the 13th of Flock Time. I'm assuming you're not just setting out right away. You're going to kind of get your... What is everyone's hit points at right now, too? With natural...
are we healing one a day?
Yeah.
I can do 2 healing spells every morning.
Well, I'll take one if you're offering.
Excuse me. Whew.
I definitely want to pick up a dog before we go anywhere.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
How are you feeling now?
Full.
Okay.
Okay.
Druin wants to head by the armory, and he's going to follow the doctrines of his faith and trade in the shield that he'd been using
Nice.
Go 2 axes.
Okay, so you'll get a 10th of the cost of the shield for that. So whatever that breaks down to. Basically, if you convert the cost into silver pieces, that'll be what you get for it.
Okay. So it was 3 gold. It'll be worth
3 silver, okay. Yes, okay, Elandrin. So what we end with, guys, is with, you guys sort of talking about what specific things you need to get. We can picture the whole party, all 8 of you guys sitting around, deciding what you want to get. Dorman, you will definitely be able to purchase a war dog. It's 20 gold pieces.
I just made that in that trip, so yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay, good. Then what you find is actually Geralt.
Do I get a saddle with it?
It's a war dog, not a mounted dog.
Oh.
Yeah. If you want to get a riding... Unfortunately, riding dogs are really something that's more of a 3rd edition thing than, but what you can do... I mean, I like that idea. It's just that you would need to find a community or at least someone who raises and trains them. Because, anyone who's had a kid who's been an asshole and, tried to ride their dog, you see what happens with it, right?
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, it never ends well.
No. Not for any
my dog pulled me on a sled through the snow.
and just to be fair to the dogs, Dorman may be a gnome, but he weighs 88 pounds, so he's heavy.
Yes.
He's a tall, rotund gnome. So.
He's a fat boy.
Yeah, so
His
yeah.
picture is not exaggerating.
Yeah, I think a sled may be a better option for you. But what happens is Geralt comes in and he tells you that. He hopes he knows. Well, first he asks how the preparation is going for the trip. How the preparations are going for setting forth to Eastdale.
Just need to secure some rations and maybe some extra hand axes for myself. How about the rest of you?
Yeah, I need to secure some rations, but aside from that, and for my dog, no. I'd probably take a day to get the dog used to me and whatnot. So.
Yeah. So what you hear is, so he says, well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that you're ready to go. I just got word. Forgive me, I'm trying to find this guy's name. Did I write it down? I tried to do prep on this by writing everyone's name down, and then sure enough, I lost the stuff. Oh, here it is, Darius. It says I take it that you've heard of Darius Carmen, right? Of the Carmen Mines, the Carmen Farms. You guys have heard of it. There's the two families really dominate the Heronshire. One of them is Darius Carmen, the Carmen family. The other is the Parfrey, from Parfrey's Keep at the east end of the Shire. Well, it appears that your names have somehow reached our Lord's ears, and he would like to meet with you.
Okay.
Did he indicate anything as to why, or did it come across as a positive thing to you?
I suppose it depends on. I think your efforts to travel to Eastdale are noble, and the offer to, shall I say, be urgent couriers is creative. Carmen has 2 reasons, from my experience, to speak to people: to try and hire them, or to fire them. I take it you don't work for Lord Carmen at this point.
Not yet.
Then it appears that Lord Carmen may have a job for you.
Fair enough.
You're free this afternoon?
This afternoon. Anybody got plans?
Nope.
No, we can do that.
Yeah, we can head over then.
Then the afternoon. Try not to be late. He places a great value on first impressions. So he leaves, and that's where we will leave it. So guys, we will end our session with a appointment made with Lord Carmen of the of the Melbourne Carmen. So, for XP, guys, those of you who have fighter levels, you have there's 4 hit dice of creatures you defeated tonight. So you're either getting 40 XP or actually that's it, because I think it's only the bard who gets the 5 XP per thing. Let's see here. What else you guys get? You guys are getting. Okay. And because we did witness some pretty fucking good role-playing from our resident dwarf and our resident elf today, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an XP bonus for that.
Sweet.
Okay. And you had 2 Astonishing Fortune left over as well?
Yes.
Okay. All right, guys. So, about 4... You guys each earned 65 XP. That is before your XP bonus.
That's before splitting, too.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
No, that's after splitting. You each get that much. Oh, you mean splitting between your 2 different classes. Sorry,
Your class, before you do any multi-class.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
And that 10% bonus we do on our...
I think it calculates it in your sheet automatically, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Cool.
Do I get XP for casting a spell?
It's
only in combat, I think, right?
what it was. It's in furtherance of something. I think it did. Or if you're talking about your armor spell, yeah, you can get XP bonus for that.
No, I was talking about the Fist of Stone.
Oh yes, then absolutely, yeah.
And it's 100 or it's 50 or what is it?
I think it's 100 per level.
That's
Okay.
correct. 100 per level.
Perfect.
Oh, this is interesting. I am less than 100 experience away from leveling up in Thief.
Nice, congratulations. Which
If
means
I hadn't got knocked out in the first round, I would have tried to hide to get that extra bonus.
you will want to find. Remember, as a refresher as well too. We're using the training rules, guys. So you will want to find someone who can train you in your profession too. I have seeded the region with them, so you may just need to look out and find them. But all
Kevin,
right.
Can you repeat that number one more time real quick?
For which?
Just in general, for the general XP.
General XP was 65 each.
65, thank you.
Plus 20 for the gold or whatever. But we don't even. You're not including that. So.
I already
that's
calculated
not,
that.
That's what you've been paid. That's not loot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Loot's what you get. You get from being a hero, not from being a hired gun.
Okay, so this guy that wants us to meet with, I'm guessing he's kind of like leader of the local kind of...
He is the owner of most of Western Herronshire. He owns the mines that are in the Blandride Hills. He owns the smelting in here. He owns the lands and many of the farms to the east and along the river.
The guy in the mansion. Okay.
He is, yeah. He's the guy who lives in the mansion in Melbourne.
He's that railroad baron in all the old westerns. He's that guy.
You know, one of my favorite twists in a campaign was an old Iron Kingdoms campaign where the guys were working in a small region where there was coal. It's a steampunk style setting, and they were there serving as agents of the local whatever, like the local chief. And one of the adventures involved them saving all these miners from these ghosts. There were ghosts that were inhabiting some of the steam jacks and shit like that. So they really got to know these guys and got to like these guys. There was also this crazy like subplot that ran through it. Nevertheless, what ended up happening, the miners ended up going on strike because they're like, fuck no, like until you guarantee our safety, we're not going back to work in those things. So then the first time in the 2 years that campaign ran, the first time I ever introduced any of the magic steampunk weapons was when an agent of the mining company showed up and said, we'll give these to you guys if you go and break that mining union.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, it was great. So I had one player in particular who has had, like, he's a guy who read... and understood all the references to the Russian Revolution in Animal Farm when we were in high school.
Uh-huh.
You know, but he's also a remorseless min-maxer. So He was having like, oh, I want to work with the workers, but I also want this fucking weapon so bad. Oh god. Anyway, okay. So then, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for session 6 of the Night Below campaign. We hope you enjoyed our trip back and the ever developing world that we're seeing evolve around these guys. As always, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below, and I will endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. In addition, you can reach me by Twitter. I am there at Dungeon Musings. You can also shoot me an email. My email address is dungeonmusings@gmail.com. And in the description of the video, you can find a link to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where you can find all of us there talking about this game and all the other games that we run on the channel, as well as find a game group or find a game channel. In fact, so if you are looking for something to do with your time, tomorrow evening, our very own Jason Hobbs here is running the very cool Low Fantasy Gaming from Pickpocket Press tomorrow night. So,
right.
Yeah, and Hobbs runs one hell of a game in the sense that he let my stupid idiot mage live. So, but no joke, it is a great game. It's a great game, great campaign that he's running, and Hobbs runs a really fucking terrific sandbox game. So, if you're looking for something to do, you can find that on a link to Hobbs's, where he's got stuff on the disc. Where's Audio Dungeon Discord? Is that where yours is? Yeah. Yep. So on Dungeon Musings Discord, it's a bit of a fucking shell game, but you can go there to find the link to Hobbs's game, and you can join his game there. So, that's my very helpful, unhelpful way of drumming up players for you. Last but not least, of course, I want to thank my players. So John and Will and Hobbs and Dave, thank you so much for joining us today. It's fucking freezing here today, so I was thrilled to stay indoors and roll some dice and try and kill some player characters. Once again, no one died. Oh,
yeah. We try to stay alive.
Thanks, Cam.
Thanks for running the game for us.
No, thank you guys.
Enjoyed it.
Cool. Then I will see some of you folks on Friday. I'll see the rest of you guys next Wednesday. Oh, last thing I'll mention. What's that? And Saturday.
Saturday morning.
Oh man, do we have a session of Ash coming up. On Saturday we have the 3rd siege of Iron Fang Keep coming up in our Astonishing Swordsman and Sorcerers of Hyperborea game. So that should be, we're also down 3 players that day, so it will be a nail biter.
It's a good day to jump in with a brand new character who's like, what? Awesome.
Jeez. So, anyway, I'll quickly, Hobbs also happens to do, he has a terrific, very personal podcast about himself and gaming, his relationship to games, and other stuff called Random Screed that you can find on Anchor and all your finer podcast platforms, as well as really, if you enjoy this kind of old school play, Hobbs has a really fucking great library of the Hobbs and Friends, or called Hobbs and Friends of the OSR podcast, where you can find a ton of really, really great conversations with a lot of the creators who are active in the old school community too. There's also one time where he spoke to a guy named Jared Rasher and some other chucklehead about Shadow of the Demon Lord. That's a good episode too.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Anyway. But until next time then, folks, for those listening at home, thank you so much. Oh, and last thing I'll mention, I unfortunately still have not updated the rewards. What I've decided, on the channel, if you're new to the channel, we don't do any monetization. We don't do any Patreon or anything like that. What we do is we run a charity fundraising campaign called Heroes Save Villages that benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity. I still have yet to update the new rewards for 2020, and what I've decided to do is give myself a bit of a breather in January. But come February 1st, we will have a whole host of new rewards available, including charity games, where I will run a game for you, your friends, and whatever for 4 hours. Your choice of game, your choice of players. Yeah, there's a limited number of them, but I will be having them up again on February 1st. So if you are interested in jumping in on those, or any of the other rewards that we have for the Heroes Save Villages campaign, those will be available soon. All donations go 100% to SOS Children's Villages International to help them provide the secure, stable, loving environments for over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children in over 130 different countries. It's a really amazing organization. You can learn all about it by following through that link. Anyway, this outro has been all over the fucking place, so let's just pull the pin there. Thanks again to the players, guys. Thanks so much for joining me today. This was a lot of fun. I am very excited to see you guys come up with plans of where you want to go. This is going to be awesome. Until next time, then, for the folks listening at home, live or otherwise, thank you so much for joining us. And until we see you again, happy gaming.